it's a bit of a stressful time, and I'm thrilled that you're deciding to kind of get a good reset by hanging out with me this morning so that you can stay sort of mellow. I'm Rita Hickman. I'm a body mind expert, shiatsu massage therapist. But what I do is I take all those great tools I've been studying for my entire life, and I help women who are narcissistic and toxic relationships. I help them find their way out. And if you're tired of being in them, then it's time to take a stand, because guess what? Narcissism is just going to get worse over the next few months as, you know, our country's polarized, as we're trying to get through the pandemic. There's going to be a lot going on. And so if you're not ready, if you're not prepared to kind of break out of that suffering cycle that you're in, if you don't have the tools, if you don't know how, if you don't know what the right next step is, if the things that you've been working, that you've been doing aren't working fast enough to deal with the stress of, you know, just living in a crazy world that we are right now today, then you're in the right place. And I'm here to help you figure out how to get there, how to get to the other side of your crazy, how to get to the other side of your stress. Because you may be thinking right now, how am I going to get through this? How am I going to survive? Because everybody around me seems to be losing their marbles. They are derailing. They are polarizing each other. It's dangerous out on the streets. You know, it's kind of a crazy space. And so people's mental health challenges will either get worse, or they'll do what you're doing, which is digging in, rooting yourself, and deciding that you want to do something different. So I titled today's live stream, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And the reason I did was because something that I've used, it's one of the first tools that I've always used to help me get level. And if you don't start using your tools, if you don't start doing them more than you're doing everything else, then you're really going to struggle over these next few months. But if you start listening to me, and if you start doing the things that make you feel good and doing the things that bring you back to balance, you're actually going to survive this, because there's no magic pill. There's no super magic knowledge. The knowledge is understanding and loving yourself. So this morning, and ever since I was a kid, I listen to music that plants in my head the things that I want to be thinking. And for me, it's always been show tunes. I'm a musician. I'm a vocalist. I'm a performer. So show tunes have been a part of my life for a long time. And they've always kind of given me guidance. They've given me an uplift. They've given me motivation. They've given me excitement. So this morning driving in, I'm taking new routes to work. So I'm looking at different things. I'm getting outside of my habitual mindset. I'm listening to things that lift me up, like, you know, Mary Poppins, like Singing in the Rain, and singing with those. And just even the process of listening and singing in your car, it vibrates your whole body, you know? And then when I got to work, I put on my lights, my colored lights, because they make me feel good. I've got my fire going because the movement and the life and the warmth makes me feel warm and alive. I've got my books. I've got my beauty. I've got my mom's quilts. You see these on the wall? I'll have to do a demo sometime. Those are my mom's quilts. And so I put them up so I can see them. The real way to break out of a narcissistic, codependent dance, the real way to stop being controlled by other people's emotions, is to turn to yourself first, is to turn to the things that make you feel good, because they matter a lot more than you think, and you need them a lot more than you think. At times like this, you need to be grounding yourself in feeling good, in being happy, in doing the things that make you feel good. And you might not quite believe me, but it's magic. When you start making choices, when you start giving yourself time and space and beauty and connection with your past and practices that keep you balanced and feeling good, suddenly you find that you're not as controlled by other people. You'll find that it's easier for you to set boundaries. You'll find that it's easier for you to make good decisions and to protect yourself. You'll find that you make even better decisions because you're thinking more clearly, because your head isn't foggy. What's happening to almost everybody is the level of stress that they're under or have been under most of their life, or maybe even for the last 30 or 40 years married to a narcissist. That stress is what is keeping you trapped. It's keeping you trapped in this cycle of not being able to think clearly, hurting, your body hurts, of not being able to protect yourself, of not being able to stand up for yourself because your body is in a place of fight or flight, and it's a place of stress. And just about everybody is these days. And so it's super important to dig in and do the things that make you feel good. Do the things that help you stay connected. And it's not just for everybody else. I know usually we need a good excuse. As an empath, as a codependent, we need an excellent excuse in order to do something that makes us feel good. Maybe we deserve it. Maybe we've worked hard. Maybe it's been a long day. Maybe we put up with something hard. Or maybe you feel selfish when you take care of yourself. Maybe you feel like you're wasting your life, like you're supposed to be getting things done. You're supposed to be, ticking things off of your to-do list. People need you. You have to be there. But let me tell you, the way out of feeling controlled by everybody else, the way out of feeling like your belly tightens up whenever anybody might be angry or might disagree with what you have to say, the exact opposite is to nurture and love yourself. I can't tell you how many hours in a week I spend. And all of the people who are on a good spiritual path, they do the same thing. We spend more time nurturing and nourishing ourselves than we do anything else. Now, maybe you don't think you have time for that. And that's exactly where you're going wrong. Because once you start doing things like bringing in good smells, things that make you happy, surrounding yourself with books that make you think, giving yourself new experiences that help you think outside the box, that help you look at the world a little bit differently, maybe listening to ideas that are different from your own, and really listening, not feeling the need to argue. You already know this because as an empath, you've probably been on the suffering side of most people's emotions for a long time. You've probably taken all of the dysregulation and all of the conflict, and you felt it in yourself, maybe even when you were a kid, and you wondered, why does this happen to me? Why am I here? Why am I stuck in this place? Why do I feel differently than everybody else does? Why does everybody say I'm too sensitive or I'm too over-emotional? Well, everybody's getting that way anymore. You were just someone who had a highly sensitive nervous system. And because you had a highly sensitive nervous system, it meant you felt everything. You felt everybody's emotions. You felt what they were going through. You felt when they were sad or happy, and you didn't know what to do with it. What you do with it is you do things that make you feel good so that you can let go of the things that aren't yours. You actually really do start moving in a good direction when you make a commitment to yourself. I want you to make a commitment to yourself that in order to get out of this pandemic, in order to get out of this election, in order to get out of the stress of being in relationship with people who don't know how to handle their stress, like a lot of our politicians, like a lot of people who are becoming more extremist, or people who troll other people on social media in order to send hate and in order to send pain. That's not you. And so you need to believe for yourself and decide for yourself that that's not the path you're going to go. And then once you decide that, you start shoring it up. I shore it up, as I said, with my colored lights, with my Broadway music singing on the way in, with my crystals, with my fireplace, with my books, with taking different routes to work, doing things in a different way, with making sure that I'm drinking enough water and I've got enough fiber. Believe it or not, when you nourish your plant, which is you, suddenly your problems aren't so big. Suddenly you don't feel so hijacked, emotionally hijacked by other people. Suddenly you're able to make decisions which you never thought you'd be able to make because you're stronger and smarter and more connected and things are working better. And instead of spiraling down where your body's falling apart and everybody just says, well, you're getting old, that's just the way that it is. Instead of spiraling down in that suffering cycle, you need to honestly believe that it's possible to change. It's possible for you to change. It's possible for you to change your body. It's possible for you to change your mind. Everything in you is plastic. It's able to be shifted and changed. Everything. I love this stuff. I love how miraculous we are as people. And when you start to believe and see the world like I do, which is like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, when you start looking at the world in that way, then the world starts rewarding you for that. Not just a happy-go-lucky attitude, not just a ignoring or denying or pretending like you have a positive outlook. You're not going to change how you feel just by changing how you think. You're going to change how you feel by changing what you do. You're going to change how you feel by changing what you surround yourself with. You're going to change how you feel by changing where you're getting your nourishment from, what thoughts you're putting in your head, not necessarily what thoughts you're thinking, but what thoughts you're feeding your head, what thoughts you're feeding your heart. You have to do the things which will shore you up right now, and not just shore you up. You're going to find that you keep blossoming and blossoming and blossoming and blossoming, and you can have a space like this too. You can reclaim your home, even if you felt like it hasn't been yours for a long time. You can reclaim your life, even though you feel like it's been controlled by everybody else's bad mood or everybody else's dysregulation or everybody else's issues. I know that's not who you want to be. I know that's not the life you want to live. You've got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired all the time. And the only way out is not to try to control anybody else. But how do you do that? Instead, you look to love yourself. And when you love yourself, you start to respect yourself. And when you respect yourself, you start to make different choices in how you stand up to people and what you say and how you say it. It's not about controlling the other person. It's not about getting in their head and figuring them out and tinkering with them and getting them on the right path because I'm right and they're wrong. It has nothing to do with that. What happens is when you turn to yourself and you do the things that make you feel good, you do the things that make you feel balanced and loved by you, that's when you finally get the stuff you were supposed to get as a kid. Because most empaths ended up in toxic families, ended up in families where there was a lot of dysregulation, a lot of trauma, a lot of pain, even if it was divorce, even if it's not something they even recognized. There was a lot going on. And that lot going on meant that you started life behind the 8 ball. You started life 3 steps behind. And it's time to change that. You need to stop being 3 steps behind, and you need to start being 3 steps ahead. And the way you do that is by giving yourself exactly what you need, not looking for anyone else to do it for you, but realizing you need friendships. You need a beautiful space to be in, something that nourishes you. You need memories of good times. You need beautiful clothes that make you feel beautiful. You need to get your hair done. You need to make choices that help you feel relaxed instead of help you feel stressed out. That's honestly the key. Take it from me, because I've been from a place of trauma. I came from being sexually abused. I came from an alcoholic family. I came from a brother who lived in a nursing home and died when he was 13 years old. I came from a family that had allergies and asthma and my own health issues and IBS and digestive systems and heart problems, where I was separated from extended family because they lived further away. So I know what it's like to be in that black hole of stress, pretending like things are getting better, but at the end of the day, worrying more about what other people are thinking and feeling than taking care of what I'm thinking and feeling. And it's not just sitting there and dealing with it. Some of the information out there is just, well, you just need to sit in it. You just need to be with it. You know what? That's the wrong answer. It really, really is. So let me give you a visual. See if we can get a visual in your head. When you're feeling depressed, anxious, angry, frustrated, overwhelmed, hi, Amis, nice to see you. When you're feeling any negative thought, when you have any negative thought pattern, when your belly's locked up, when your shoulders are tense, when your jaw is clenched, when you've got headaches, when your joints hurt, when your temper is short, when you're yelling at your dog, when you feel tired all the time, what that means is that that your nervous system is in fight or flight. And instead of waiting for the world to change before you feel better, before the person stops being angry, before, the right president is in office, before you're, uh, before you start something new, before you even do your to-do list, before you even mark the boxes off on all the things you need to get done. It is most important that you nourish yourself, that you take that time. Because in that process, what happens is that you start to let go. You start to let go of the past. You start to let go of the beliefs that keep you trapped. And most importantly, you start to let go of the stress chemicals that keep you controlled, because that's really what's controlling you, your stress chemicals. And when you start to learn the tools, when you start to put them in place, when you start to get the support, when you start to get the love, when you start to get the joy that you deserve, that's when everything else changes around you and you become that agent of change. And now you're not just reacting or being a victim to the people around you and they're crazy. Instead, you're taking a stand for yourself and making sure you're going to be okay. And not just you're going to be okay, but that you're going to be a light that leads other people out of the darkness. It's not that people are good people or bad people. It's not that you're a good person or a bad person. It's that you're either dysregulated, which means that you're in fight or flight, where most of us are, like 99.9% of the time, or you're regulated, which means that your heart brain, your head brain, and your gut brain are all working together. It means that your body is healing itself. It means that your immune system is boosting up. It means that your suffering, your physical illnesses will start to go away. It means that you become more patient. It means that you're able to tolerate more, not bad behavior, but you're able to handle stress easier. It doesn't ruin your day or ruin your life or make your day miserable, even if somebody else is having a miserable day. Because it's time to turn it around. Instead of spending your life taking care of other people, take care of your needs, and then you can take care of other people. Then you'll be able to take care of other people. I can't impress this enough, because the world's going to be crazy for a while. It's going to be stressed out. You're going to see things which trigger you, and it's going to make you feel out of balance and out of control. And the key is you really do have control. And the control starts with making a conscious choice to surround yourself with love and beauty, a conscious choice to fill yourself with love and beauty, a conscious choice to do things that make your body feel good, which are good for it, not suffering, not denying yourself. That's not what this is about. This is about making good choices that make you feel good. And then you know what happens? All those bad choices just start to fall away. Why do they fall away? They fall away because you don't need them anymore. Because you're now getting your needs met by your little fireplace. And you're getting your needs met by your peacock feathers. And you're getting your needs met by being around people who love you, who have the ability to love. This is how it changes. And it seems impossible right now, but it starts with one small step. And that next step encourages you and wants you to do another one, whether it's essential oils, whether it's artwork, whether it's lights that make you feel good. It's time, because it's not going to get any easier, which means that don't wait any longer. Don't wait one more second to start getting on the good path, because it's only going to get harder, because people don't know how to handle their stress. They don't know how to handle it when they're in fight or flight. And you being an empath, you're going to feel everybody else's suffering, whether it's yours or not. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel the people over in Africa. You're going to feel the people over in Australia. You're going to feel the people in California. You're going to feel it, because that's who you are. And so if you don't respect that, if you don't respect yourself, then you're going to keep feeling like you're playing catch up and not feeling like you're thriving. So if you're a successful woman already who somehow made a beautiful life, even though she might be in relationships with people or have family or friends who are toxic, who are difficult, who have a lot of issues and a lot of things going on and a lot of pain, and you're the one who ends up listening to it. You're the one that ends up shoring everybody else up. If that's happening to you because you're empathic, you need to start now. Don't wait. Start listening to these live streams, like them, or say that you want alerts, because it'll help keep you on a good path. And piece by piece, you're going to get your life back. And the only way to go anymore is up. You don't have to go down. You can go up. And as long as we do it together, you're going to be okay. Okay? So good luck on election day. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Be smart. And do something good for yourself today. Because you're going to have to counteract all the crazies, all the imbalances, all the issues, all the stress that the world is going through because you're an empath. How do you know you're an empath? Probably because you're codependent. Most codependent women are empaths, just the way that it is. So respect yourself, love yourself, and we're going to get you out of this hole. Not only out of the hole, we're going to get you to a place where you feel like you finally got your life together. Like you can sing those Broadway tunes, Singing in the Rain, and you can sing Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious and mean it and believe it. Because as a kid, standing in my driveway, waiting for the bus, trying to make myself feel better, I would sing these. And the difference between then and now is now I can embody them. Now I'm not using them to make myself feel better. I'm using them as fuel to help me get to whatever is next in life. Because this is a beautiful, exciting time. Because when things are chaotic, when they're crazy, that's when the seed is breaking open. That's when the opportunities are here. That's when it's time to make a change. That's when changes can be made. It's super exciting. Don't wait. Now's the time. Start working on it. And if you need some more help, go to ritahickmancoaching.com. Do a couple strategy calls with me. Start working with me. Start working with the group. Start showing up to this stuff. And you will just magically notice that your life is changing. Okay? I hope you have a great day. And I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. Bye.